Welcome back, traders. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the Martingale Balance Calculator. This tool helps you track how much you need to put per each trade in order to continue your martingale. Why is this important? Because you want to maximize your profits. Not sit here and just simply guess, but you want to maximize your profits. And this helps you do just that. This calculator is designed to remove the math and emotions from your trading. You tell it your payout, you enter your step amounts, mark each trade as a win or loss, and the calculator updates everything for you, including your balance and your overall profits from the last time you locked it or unlocked it, but I'll get into that feature later. All right, let me walk through some of the key features. So at the very top, this is your goal. That is your goal. So, we definitely want to be very goal oriented. So come up with some amount that you feel that would definitely be attainable. I'm gonna be honest with you. With us dealing what we're dealing with, saying you want 100%, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's highly attainable. It is. That is highly attainable. But just know that overtrading is real, and this is not financial advice or anything like that from here on this point out. But just keep in mind that having a goal is better than not having a goal. All right. So, all right. The very next one would be your balance. Your balance. All right. That there, of course, that's important. But if done correctly, you will visit this not a lot out of your trading day, but I could see us still going to that thing maybe 75% of the time. But this is supposed to help to where you will not have to visit that as often. All right. The next cell would be the risk percentage of account. All right, which is right here. All right, so you're basically letting the calculator know how much do you want to risk on that ladder. All right, so this one here is 25%. Basically saying if I take all three trades, I do not want to risk more than 25% of my account. So as you see over here where it says ladder cost, it's basically saying $25. All right, just 25 bucks. But if you win, you will receive over here what is called the ladder reward. All right, basically your ending balance once. No, I'm sorry, not your ending balance, but that it will be your profit after you have done all three trades. Okay, so once again, this is Martingale, and this is exactly how Martingale goes. This is a clean version of Martingale. This is exactly how Martingale is supposed to be ran. And I must say now that this is a two-part calculator, which I will get into and I will explain later on in the video down here. But right now, I'm just going through the very first top. Uh, so, also the goal, which you will see in a little bit. You will see how that is populated. But as we already went over the goal, the balance, risk percentage of account, and the payout. Now this here you will visit, very, very often. Very, very, very often, okay? So as you may know, you have to pay attention to the payouts when trading pocket options, all right, or binary options, period. You want to pay attention to that payout. It will change on you in a heartbeat. It is no getting around it. Sometimes you're not gonna have enough time to pay attention to it. But luckily for us, the bot gives us 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes, I believe. It was like 2.5 minutes to go and look at a chart, fix everything we need to fix. And believe it or not, that is a long time. By the time I get done with seeing my numbers and everything and inputting everything I need, I still have about 2 minutes left to sit here and wait. So it is a workflow. Trust and believe. Uh, Boom. All right. So down here, these are your trade ladders. Your S1 with step one, S2, that's step two, and S3, that's step three. So just if or when, because one thing I will say, in this game you will lose, but you can lose the battle. But with the tools that we have, we can win the war. All right. So back to this ladder, right? So just a clear little example. Before we get into the ladder, I want to go into this part right here. All right. So as we are going, so let's say our very first thing we do, we put in our goal, we have our balance, then we have risk percentage of account, and then we do our payout. Once we and I always like to put that thing at 92%. Always just automatically put it at 92% and assume that the next trade that's coming up is going to be 92%. If not, then that's when you'll go back and change it. But once you do that there, you want to head down here. All right. And what you want to do is you want to push lock. You want to lock in the fact that your balance is $100. If you look to the right over here, it's going to show you that you started with just that, $100. All right. So, okay, sorry about that. I had to reset it. But once again, once you press that lock, it's going to give you what you started with. All right. So once it gives you what you started with, you'll see over here also the goal area has changed because we put 100% as our goal, right? All right, well, it's telling you in dollar form how much that will be. Okay. So a good example of going through, right? We got everything in there. So let's say we get to step one. Let's say we lost it. All right, we lost it, which is cool. Then we get to step two. Let's say we won. We're going to go ahead and say, okay, we won. All right. It's a good practice that once you click something, to always click to the side somewhere just to get it off of whatever's going on. This here, the logo, that there is a button. It runs a script. All right. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that, but that's what it is. It's a script. So when you press it, what it does is all the math for you. All right. You can see now your P&L for that session was $3.09, but it also took it and added it to your current balance. All right. So, boom, that's that. And then if you pay attention to over at the right side, everything else is populated for your next one. So your next one is going to be, the cost of it will be $25.77 if you were to make it all the way down to the last and lose. But your reward will be $3.19 if you win one of those in that ladder. All right. So just for example purposes, I'm going to go ahead and say loss, and let's say if we won the last one. All right. We go ahead, we press the button, and it does all the calculations for us. Boom. And now we're ready to go for our very next one. All right. So honestly, that was pretty much a good run through on that. But let's say, okay, you end up doing something crazy because a lot of us traders do that. We do that. We do stuff crazy and end up blowing our account. All right. Something we didn't do right. Whether it be we didn't have the discipline we needed or we just accidentally pushed the wrong button or anything. So you will want to unlock it. When you unlock it, it takes away what you started with, all that good stuff, and you just retype. Let's say if I started with $100, okay, I'm gonna click off to the side somewhere, and I am gonna also press the script because what the script did was it took that P&L for the session, made it 0, it reset it, and now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna lock it. All right. Once I locked it, as you can see, everything updated, so on and so forth. So that is the first section of this Martingale calculator. All right, now for the second. Now this right here is a game changer. I'm sorry, when it comes down to math, it's crazy. It does it for you. All right, I love math. I'm sorry, but anyway, for the second part, what it does is it will allow you to, let me see here. Let me get my tool out. It will allow you to take one of the trades from up top. All right. It'll allow you to take one of the trades up top. If you look here, if you look there, all right, it will allow you to take one of those trades. Okay. And you could pick one. So this all depends on your risk appetite. This does not take into consideration how much you have in your account. This is just taking this is not taking in consideration your risk appetite. None of that. Maybe in future updates I will, but at this moment, this is what it does. So let's say if I wanted to take 701. All right, I wanted to up the game. If I take that 701, what this calculator basically down here does is, let's say if I lose that first trade at 701, all right, it's going to give me the next trade. And what does this next trade does? It will cover the loss that I had. It'll recover the profit that I would have won. But then it's also martingale to where it's going to give you more profit off of what it would have been because it is a whole nother step. So it's like you're not even missing a beat. So I want to see if, let me see if I can get this thing to do something right, because I know you all may be familiar with the dollar challenge. Well, this will allow you to take 3 shots at the dollar challenge. 3 shots. It'll allow you to take 3 shots. Meaning, in the dollar challenge, you take $1. If you win, you put everything that you won right back in and you reinvest. Well, this here kind of gives you, like I said, 3 shots to where, okay, if you lose one trade, you can put in the next trade, which will recover everything you would have won with that dollar. Hold on, let me see real quick. Let me see if I can change this. Let me see if I can put 1 there. Okay, I put $1. Okay, there we go. So if I'm doing the dollar challenge, and over here on the right, it explains how much you would win. What is your what are you profiting from that? You know, it's showing your profit. So instead of me putting in $1, and let's say if I lose, okay, I lost it. All right. So my next trade will be 301. If I lose that 301, I lost, of course. But if I win it, I'm not going to win 92% like how it would be in the regular martingale. I'm going to win 177. But let's say if I lose the 301, my next trade is going to be 805. Hopefully it'll never get to this point, but as long as I win 340 instead of just a regular 92 how it would be if it was regular martingale. So it's almost like you're not, I'm not even gonna say it's almost, it's like you're not missing a beat, you're not missing a step. We know that sitting down, right? Okay, let me rewind. I kept in mind that, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would love to trade, I would love to profit off of every trade, but it's almost kind of unrealistic because you will lose at some point in time. Well, this bottom part down here, it literally turns your losses into wins, literally. So all you have to do is stay focused, follow the instructions, especially when you're dealing with this bot. Follow the instructions and get busy. That's it. That's all. If you guys have any questions, I don't want to sit here and ramble and talk way too much. I feel like this thing may have gone a little bit longer than what it actually should have, but it's all good. Hopefully, you guys get something up out of this. Please, once again, if you have any questions, do not be afraid to hit me up. Peace.